Should you invest in ARK ETFs since it has risen nearly 600% over the past 5 years? Hi, this is Cayden from VIA Value Investing Academy. In my previous video, I spoke about who is Cathie Wood and what are her ARK ETFs. By the end of this video, I will share with you what factors you should consider before investing in ARK ETFs. Factor 1. What kind of investors are you? In chapter 4 to 7 of The Intelligent Investor, written by Professor Benjamin Graham, he said that there are two kinds of investors. A. Passive investor. They are those who do not like to monitor stocks and do not like to be affected by the movement of stock prices. If you belong to this category, then ETFs are more suitable for you versus selecting individual stocks. B. Active investor. These are people who prefer to select individual companies as they expect higher returns than ETFs. Factor number 2. How will the addition of this ETF affect your overall portfolio? Let's say you already have substantial percentage of Tesla in your existing portfolio and you are considering ARK Innovation ETF. But you will have to know that inside this ETF, Tesla is the number one holding with a weightage of 10.44% as of 17th of March 2021. Do you want to add more Tesla to your existing portfolio? That's one question you have to answer. Factor number 3. What is the holding and weightings of the ETFs? Do note that before you show hand your hard-earned money into anything, you need to know something about what you're investing, because one of the key reasons why most people lose money is because they have no idea what they have invested in. Let's use ARK Innovation ETF as an illustration. Let's see what are its holdings and the corresponding weightage. The top 3 holdings are: number 1, Tesla at 10.44%, number 2, Square Incorporated A shares at 6.52%, 3, Teladoc Health at 5.86%. So what's next? We need to look at the fundamental performance of the company. Peter Lynch has once said, if the companies do well, their stocks will do well. Let's look at some key metrics of Tesla as an example. Number 1, earnings per share without non-recurring items. If you look carefully at this diagram, Tesla has not been making money until financial year 2020 and the most recent quarters. Number 2 is net margin. If you look at this diagram, Tesla also has no margins until year 2020, where its net margin was only 2.19%. This means that for every $100 of sales or revenue, the profit is a mere $2.90 versus 5.25% in General Motors. 3. Cash flow from operation. If you look carefully at the cash flow from operation, it was mostly bleeding cash until financial year 2018 to 2020. This is a stark contrast if you compare the numbers with General Motors, where most of the cash flow are positive. If we quickly look at the earnings per share of Square Inc., it only has profits for the last 2 years, and for Teladoc Health, its earnings per share was worst in year 2020 as compared to all other years. In short, if you look at the top holdings of Cathie Wood's ARK ETF, you will have an idea the kind of companies that she's looking at and whether it fits your appetite. Factor number 4, how long has these ARK ETFs been around? When I look at their website, it states that the inception date was 31st October 2014, right after the global financial crisis in 2008 and 2009, when the overall market was bullish. When Donald Trump became president on the 20th of January 2017, the market was even more bullish. So there is a luck component that ARK ETFs were doing well. Factor number 5, expense ratio. How does Cathie Wood make money? We must understand that fund managers make money from the management fees, which is also called the expense ratio. This also means that the larger the assets under management, or AUM, the more money the fund managers make out of you. So the trick is for the fund manager to be good in selling some sexy futuristic companies so that the more people jump in to buy the stocks, the price will go up by itself and it will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. ARK Innovation ETF right now has an expense ratio of 0.75%. With an asset under management of US $17.68 billion, Cathie will collect US $132.6 million for just this ETF alone. This means that she makes money from the management fee and not because it's from investing in the ETF she has created herself. As Robert Kiyosaki would say, the trick to make money is by using other people's money. In summary, there are 5 key factors you need to consider if you wish to invest in ARK ETFs or any other ETFs. Number 1, what kind of investors are you? If you are a passive investor, ETFs will be more suitable for you. Number 2, how will the addition of this ETF affect your overall portfolio? Number 3, what is the holding and weightings of these ETFs? And how are the performance of these companies inside the ETFs? Number 4, how long has these ARK ETFs been around? I would prefer an ETF with a longer track record. Number 5, expense ratio. The lower the expense ratio, the better it is for the investor. My conclusion is, if you want exposure to a wide basket of the fastest growing companies on the cutting edge of technology, ARK ETFs make perfect sense. Cathie Wood has become such a powerful marketer that she reminded me of Steve Jobs' reality distortion field. The moment she starts buying something causes a herd effect, just like Elon Musk's Twitter effect. As other people rush in, the stock price rises and the people will jump in to invest, creating a virtuous cycle, making her richer than ever. But be careful. ARK ETF may not survive the next crisis because most of the companies she has invested has not made money yet or just started to show profits. So will I invest in ARK ETF? The answer is no. But that does not mean that I'm right or others are wrong. It's just that I'm old school and I prefer ETFs or companies that already have track record of making profits and will continue to make more and more profit. So how about you? Will you invest in ARK ETFs? Please feel free to comment on this video and remember to like this video and subscribe to our VIA channel. And I shall see you soon. Goodbye.